Pregame.com.
So Phil Mickelson is looking for his career Grand Slam. Is he going to get it? Teddy Covers and Brady Kannon here on pregame.tv. And Brady, this is your expertise. We're talking about golf, and we're talking about the biggest match. Well, not the biggest. One of the four biggest golf events of the year. And of course, we're talking about Phil Mickelson, who's looking for his career Grand Slam. He's got 3 Masters. He's got a PGA Championship. He won the Claret Jug 2 years ago. Does Phil Mickelson live? Does he have a shot to win his first ever U.S. Open?
I really think he does. I think anytime it's a U.S. Open, Phil Mickelson has a shot. I think this course in particular may give him a better shot than past Opens. His driver has become a little bit leaky as he's gotten older in age, just in terms of accuracy. But accuracy is not going to be a big factor on this course as much. You're going to have a lot of wide open holes like a British Open, like a Seaside Links style course where you don't have that 6-inch ankle deep rough on the edge of U.S. Open fairways. So I think that gives Mickelson an edge. He played very well last week in Memphis. He shot a 65 on Sunday to finish in the top 10. And also the creativity around the greens. We saw Mickelson, as Teddy mentioned, win the British Open a couple years ago. He figured out how to play around those courses and use his creativity, which is probably his biggest strength, around those greens. He's going to find he'll need that again here this week at Chambers Bay. I think that's where he really has an edge over the rest of the field, is what he can do around the greens.
Well, let me ask you this, because I was reading an article that you wrote in Gaming Today, talking about how Mickelson had actually changed his game, specifically for courses like this one.
Yeah, it was you know, the culmination was a couple of years ago when he won the British, and in that same week he won the tournament prior to in Europe called the Scottish Open. But it had been a couple, 3 years prior to that where he started working with his short game guru Dave Pells. When you've seen the British Open, the wind blows a lot. You have that seaside setting, okay, where you've got the wind off of the sea, and you've got this sprawling layout and lots of sand. Mickelson grew up playing Torrey Pines and very American-like courses. He had to learn how to shape his shots, hit a trajectory, how to play these expansive greens where you can hardly tell the difference between them and the fairway. He learned all of that in a couple, 3-year period, and it came to an head when he won in 2013. And I think that puts him in a good spot here this week at Chambers Bay because, as we mentioned, I think it's that style of a course.
Well, what about the head-to-head matchups? Let's talk about the one in particular against Rory McIlroy, where Phil Mickelson, about a $1.35 underdog. You have to lay $1.50, $1.55 to back the #1 golfer in the world right now in McIlroy. Who do you like in that matchup?
You're giving me a tough one. Quite honestly, that's probably one I would stay away from, as I like both of these guys and their chances this week. Rory's the best player in the world, like you say. We've just explained why I think Phil has a good chance this week. I would expect both of them to be in contention on Sunday. Top 15 finish, I think, is realistic. Therefore, if you put a gun to my head, I got to take the plus money.
Taking the plus money with Phil Mickelson. That's the advice from Brady Kannon right here on pregame.tv.